Hello and
Hi.
welcome to episode 17 of the Not Okay, It's Okay podcast. This is your safe space to not be okay and share about it. And Rashidah and I are here to offer you our truth and support for all of you out there for what life seems to throw at us on the daily. Hello, Rashidah.
Hi, everybody. So I'm broadcasting from the homes today, and I'm excited. Hopefully, you won't hear any screaming kids trying to get out of the tunnel. But but I'm so happy to be here. And Hilary, episode 17, that's so amazing. 17.
I am proud of us, dang dang. We have been, I'm just thinking back to where we started in the midst of this insane pandemic, just wanting and needing to let everybody know that it's okay to not be okay. So
yeah, and I think we've I only got a bowl. Shout out to Bowl in a Basket. Bowl in a Basket. Main brand.
Right?
I don't know.
So today, episode 17, we are talking about survival tactics for every day. Right? Hey, Connie and Cheryl and Tina. Oh, welcome, Amy. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Tina.
So, who wants to begin?
I'll start. When we think about the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, right? Some people know that I've been sick, and there's that worry when you get sick. Is it just the common cold? Is it the flu? Is it the COVID? So just being sick and managing just different things and balancing life is really hard.
Absolutely. Because what are we, so that's self, right? We're balancing ourself, we're balancing our health or managing our health. We have work, we have parenting, we have partnerships and relationships and homeschooling. So we're managing a lot. So that's kind of what we mean by survival tactics for every day. Just meaning that we are all, we have our they used to be full plates and now they are full platters. We are managing so much. So this is a show. And I think that we're going to talk about stuff that we've talked about before, but kind of stuff that you and I use in our everyday. I know I use it to make sure that I am still welcomed back in my home at the end of the night.
And it's challenging. And, again, you talk about being welcomed back into the home, right? So, for our parents who work during, go out to work during the day and then have to then come home and to your second job. That's a challenge.
Absolutely. Listen, it is all challenging. So we are here to honor that it is a challenge and to offer some, like we say, practical solutions, right? Usually our shows, we wind them down with some practical solutions. So for me personally, Rashidah, I would say that what I need to make sure I keep myself in check about is my emotional reactivity, which we've all talked about. We've talked about probably on every show. So emotional reactivity, what does that mean? It means that we have emotional minds, we have rational minds, right? I've described it before as a scale, right? Rational minds, emotional minds. I know I come in hot on the emotional side. I am more emotional minded than rational minded. So my work when I'm in therapy every Thursday at 10 is to work on that, to make sure that I am balancing my scale before I engage with anybody, my husband, my son, my clients, my friends. So balancing out that scale. If I'm super emotional, I need to pull in the rational minds, balance it. It's never 50-50, but it gets pretty close. And so that's my number one survival tactic for my day, my everyday.
And it's interesting that you said reactivity, because I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I run a special needs parent support group every Monday night. And the topic was reactivity, right?
Yeah.
And, an example of reactivity for me is basically, I come home from work and, I'm spent. Like I just need like 5 minutes, but
Yep.
kids, they don't believe in 5 minutes.
Sure.
So they're like, mommy, this, mommy that. And I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Like, can I have a break? And that is a lot of my stress coming to the surface.
Sure.
And did I want to show up that way? No.
Uh-huh.
But I think it was just like an accumulation of things. And then it was just like almost like someone else wanting more from me. Right.
Yeah. Well, yes. So that comes from, stuff we've talked in the past too. Attempting to pour from that empty cup. We are caretakers, we are partners, we are parents. And sometimes we just feel really depleted, and it is impossible to pour from an empty cup. So then it becomes, hey, raising our awareness. Like, I am legit trying to pour. I am attempting to pour from an empty cup. I have nothing to give. I am completely depleted. How do I fill up that cup? Right. And so listen, we're going to have a ton of these survival tactics. So, let's talk about that one. How do we fill up the cup? How do we do that?
Well, sometimes, we may need someone to like pour some more into the cup. Right. So I think, Hilary and I, we talked about like, for those who have a partner or somebody that's supportive, sometimes it may mean talking to that person that you love and say, hey, I need a time out. Like I need a break. And I have 5 minutes. And maybe if I went to my husband and said like, listen, 5 minutes, all I need, maybe I would have again showed up differently.
Sure. So I'm going to cross this one off my list. So when we partnered up, right? If we are lucky enough to be in a partnership and, not, single parents, bless you. I don't know how you do it. But if we're in this partnership, to make sure that we're communicating our needs, like, hey, you know what? I had a day, I got nothing. Can you give me 5 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes? Can you go get bath time started? Could you put dinner on the table? Right. So those are ways that we can fill up our cup.
And then also too, it doesn't even have to be like, your spouse. It could be like a friend who says, hey, I'll come over and watch the kids for a little bit. If the kids are a part of the stress. Or, it may mean like taking time out and just kind of, getting a little therapy to regroup before I go home. I'm going to like go see my therapist and, it can come,
And so we've talked about it before, and Gina, one of my friends and colleagues, taught me a long time ago about slices of joy. And that to me is the essence of filling up our cup. When it's empty, how do we fill it up? So it could be an appointment with your therapist. It can also be a manicure. It can also be stopping at Dunkin' or Starbucks on the way home and getting yourself, having that warm beverage experience or iced beverage experience, just taking those time, the time to do that on your way home from work, calling a friend, getting silly on the phone, little things, little slices of joy here or there. Taking the scenic route on home. So you're not staring at the parkway, but you're looking at the deer, hopefully not too closely, but in the distance. So
or listening to music, like your favorite song, and just, there was a time where, I felt like I had to like be on the phone with somebody and again, and usually be talking about the day of what happened at work and what's going on at work. And it just kept me in that mode. But I kind of like shut down that time from driving from work to home. And it's my time to like rock out with some Wu-Tang Clan, some DMX, some Fergie.
I love it.
And I'm ready.
Good. Okay. So, So filling, first of all, everything we talk about here, I feel like is always the first step is recognition, awareness, like recognizing that we have nothing to give. We are legit pouring from an empty cup. We have nothing. So recognizing that, and then how do I fill this cup, right? If we're in this partnership as well, asking for what we need. Our partners are great, but like they're not mind readers, just like we're not. So saying, hey, I've had a day. Please, could you could you spot me 10 minutes? Right.
Yeah, I think it's important, like, just knowing, like, that insight of knowing, like, you know what, I am tapped. I am tapped out right now. It's almost like I think about wrestling. I visualize, I don't know if Hilary, were you a wrestling fan? WWE,
I
WWE.
was gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and I'm very much into MMA. Yes.
Okay, so
what it is to tap out, honey, if that's what you're asking. Or were you asking about an arm bar? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, but like when there'd be like a tag team event or whatever, and when that person was getting tired, it was the other person was already had their hand out, like, come on, tag me, I see you're stressed, come on, tag me,
right?
And
so they were offering, like, I'm ready, bring me in, I'm ready to have your back. Absolutely. Yes. You go rest.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, now you just took me back to the WWF, and who were those guys? Who, they used to be like, Christian would probably know this. Christian, chime in. Who were they? They had like these logs. They wore overalls.
Not bum rushers. No.
The Bushwhackers.
It was in the B family. It was in the B.
Good. That was good. Okay. So, all right. So far, survival tactics for every day. We've talked about emotional reactivity, really kind of checking ourselves and making sure that we are in a space to communicate effectively, right? Make sure that if we're up to here, we are bringing it back down to a place where we're not feeling completely overwhelmed, and then we're going to like while out on our partners or our kids.
Wow out. I love it. I love it. Wow.
We were talking high school.
Samantha in the building. It says hi. All the eyes. The hi, Rashidah.
I know. I love that. And Jersey. Jersey. So also we mentioned when we're, in a partnership, asking for help, letting people know what we need, and recognizing when our cup is empty and we just don't have anything to give. It's spaces of joy.
Yeah. And one thing I want to just kind of address is the barrier to asking for help, right? A lot of times people don't ask for help because they think, oh, the other person, and people that are watching, listening, chime in. If this is you, like, you feel like they're going through their own stuff. I feel bad, put my stuff on theirs, and a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, they want to know what's going on with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. They absolutely do. And so that's the story we're telling ourselves, right? The story I'm telling myself is my partner doesn't have the capacity. Yeah. He's had a rough day too. He's been homeschooling and working, blah, blah, blah. But really, the truth most of the time is that they are willing to help. They're just not mind readers.
Yeah.
Right.
Good point.
Good. So, I mean, you kind of touched on this, so I feel like let's go back to it. A big thing, again, for me, these are our personal things, right? So one of my survival tactics is taking that transitional time, taking the time to go from Hilary, the therapist, like now I'm in my home office. When I'm done with my sessions for the day, not rushing right out of the room, taking 5 minutes to breathe and switch hats, right? Okay, now when I leave this door, I am a wife, I am a mom. I haven't seen my kid and my husband other than rushing in between, to fill up my water or go to the ladies' room. Like I don't, so taking the transitional time so we can actually enjoy and not come in hot and super emotionally reactive and feeling overwhelmed. Like, okay, well now what's for dinner? And is his bag packed for hockey? All of these things.
And it may mean like, right, so you're driving home from work, and maybe sitting in the car for like 5 or 10 minutes, and just kind of just grounding yourself and breathing and just because of the new hat you're putting on, different needs.
Because we wear so many hats. Yeah. So absolutely. If you're commuting, it could be, you can be in transition, like you said before, listening to music, talking to a friend. But then when you pull up in the front of the house or into your driveway or your garage, give yourself that time. That's self-love, that's self-care and compassion too. Like, hey, I know you had a hard day, but let's show up, right? Because we're in charge of the way we show up. Nobody's in charge but us. So we want to be in control of the way we then are showing up to our families, our children, our partners.
And I want to say, like, for myself, like, it doesn't always work the 5 or 10 minutes in the car because my
Sure.
kids they smell me. They can smell me from like they know I pulled up. I hear them, mommy's home, mommy's home. Oh my gosh, mommy's home. And then it's like bam, 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 bang.
Right. Yeah. And also, Rashidah, I wonder, like, yeah, they probably do smell you. They know you're home. But I wonder how much of that is kind of self-inflicted too. Like I wonder how much of that is the story that we tell ourselves based out of fear and worry, right? And like which makes us move even quicker and doesn't allow ourselves to do that transitional. Oh, Kanisha said, hey, Kanisha, she said she always hides in the car. All right, well, now you can hide and use it to your advantage.
And I just want to shout out Kanisha. I just wanted, I did watch the presentation that they put together for Martin Luther King, which was absolutely beautiful, absolutely informative. So I just want to, shout out.
Oh, I want to see, where is it? Did they plug it on Facebook?
It should be recorded, I think. I think it's in, I think it was recorded. It was recorded.
Okay. But we can see it on Facebook?
Yes.
Cool. Maybe we can even link it. That's cool. Oh, hey.
Look at you, link it.
We can link that. We're learning, Rashidah. We are learning in this new adventure of ours, although not so new. Episode 17.
Episode 20. I want to do fireworks. Can we do that? Can we do fireworks? Episode 20.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. You look ambivalent.
No, well, I think where my mind immediately went. We were supposed to do the Halloween thing, and then we didn't because just things, life happens. So yeah, I mean, sure, we can do some fireworks.
Awesome.
Maybe hit you with some silly string. So
everybody.
So taking time to transition from one hat to another, because really. And also take time to recognize, right? Build your awareness on exactly how many hats you wear. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Right? So taking the transition time in between. I
got one.
Go ahead. Yes, I know.
This is one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Find any opportunity to laugh. Find any opportunity to laugh. Oh my gosh.
I'm down with that.
Laughing, and again, chime in everybody. Laughing is it feels so good. It releases any tension that you have in your body and it just gets you focused on something else. And
it could flip your mood immediately.
Oh man, it's amazing. I've been watching Schitt's Creek. So for those who, oh my gosh, right?
Ew, David. And although I love David and I love Alexis, I mean, Catherine O'Hara, Moira. If I tell you, I could literally, there is so much about her that I love that I can't even take it. She's so incredible. Oh, I'm having technical difficulty. Hold on. So you tell me about Schitt's Creek while I fix this.
So, I didn't know about Schitt's Creek until my dad passed away. So when my dad passed away, I was trying to find things to distract myself. And I just came across, I'm like, oh, what's this? This looks interesting. And that first episode, I was just like, whoa, this is just kind of silly, stupid, it's just one of those, I'm really laughing at this right now.
I love that.
Everybody can get something out of it. I don't feel like it's,
For sure. Literally, my laptop is falling down. So you keep talking. I'm having technical difficulties.
Yes. So for everybody out there, if there's a comedy that you like to watch, Friends could be one, right? Did you watch Friends?
Absolutely. King of Queens.
Oh, that was so good.
Everybody. Oh my God. My favorite, which we just started watching. Sorry, with my son. Everybody Hates Chris. Did you ever get into that?
Yes.
My son is now obsessed. We absolutely love it. King of Queens. I mean, there's so many good ones.
Remember the Bundys? Love and oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. God. I was a huge Al Bundy and Peg fan.
Yeah. So find a reason to here's a stupid one that I was laughing at, which was kind of, so there was a squirrel that ran into the street. And it was like, I was reading it's a story for it. It was like confused. Like, did it want to like go into the street, or did it realize it was in the street? But I was like, I held up traffic for 10 minutes waiting for the squirrel to decide what he wanted to do.
You're a good person.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say, Rashidah, is that laughter, taking time to laugh, also equates to what we were talking about. That is right there. You taking time to watch Schitt's Creek or The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yes, Steph.
Yes.
This is slices of joy. This is how we fill our cup.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree 100%. So that's like one of my top ones is like, let me find something that's going to make me laugh.
Oh, yes. I am with you, girl. Good. Well, yeah, let's share. Oh, I heard Grace and Frankie is really great too. Yes. With Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, I believe. Right. Yeah. So laughing. Absolutely. So yes, amazing. Love it. What else? Let's, another survival tactic.
Me, you, me.
Whoever. I'm ready. If you're ready, I'll go.
Go ahead.
We've spoken about it here. We'll say it once. We'll say it again. Saying no.
Yeah.
Saying no, right? We are, Rashidah and we are down to the line of redefining, right, the word no. Yeah. No is not a bad word, right? We said it, we will say it again. So no is a boundary. It is a survival tactic because it is saying, hey, I have too much on my plate, can't do it right now. Or no, it's not a good time for me. Or no, I just can't. That is okay.
Yeah. And if they truly care, they'll understand.
Absolutely.
And again, sometimes we got to look at that. Are we taking on too much, right? Are we yes people? Oh yeah, you want me to go type this like 30-page report in like 10 minutes? Sure.
No.
Like,
oh my God, no.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly like you're saying, like, why am I doing it? What's my motivation? And something that I have been working on in therapy, again, Rashidah and I very open about therapists in therapy.
Yeah.
So something that I have been working with for quite some time is, where is my motivation to say yes? If I'm saying yes, am I saying yes out of guilt? Because if I'm saying it out of guilt, then I need to say no. And so, that's how I've been getting more and more comfortable with the word no, because unfortunately we have been cultured to believe that saying no is a bad thing. Yeah. We're starting a movement.
No movement. No. Right. Not okay. It's okay. Blame it on us. They said no.
Exactly. They said no is not a bad word. Right. So yeah. So for me, saying no / asserting boundaries would be the next survival tactic. We have to set boundaries. We have to be able to say, this doesn't work for me. No, I can't do that right now. Now is not a good time. That is how, a practical solution to getting through every day. Because look, the more hats we wear, the more people are asking of us, the more responsibility we have. And then you have to really be able to allocate time to be of service, to people to wear that hat.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. So boundarying up and saying no.
Yeah. And then boundaries could also mean like, a person who's, working a day job. Sometimes, and I've done this, I'm still checking emails after I checked out, done, and I'm at home like, oh, the thing went off. Who emailed? And I'm responding to emails.
Right.
We're working.
Right.
And sometimes we have to set a boundary, with ourselves. And hey, like once that clock hits 4:30, 5 o'clock, or whatever your, that time, where your paycheck ends.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I think part of the challenge there, Rashidah, and I felt it like when I was working in a, like a 9 to 5 is, our work ethic really challenges that, right? Because we both, clearly you and I have really strong work ethic. And we want to be able to do our jobs, do them well, and like leave things in a neat little package, right? So allowing ourselves that time and then putting up the boundary with ourselves and being like, okay, you know what? I've done 15 minutes of overtime. This will be waiting for me tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. The work just continues to pile up. I hate to say it.
And it will be there. Look, that's why it's called the job. It will be there. And clearly the stuff that is time sensitive will be shifted to the top, and that will already be done. So it's okay for you to say no, put up a boundary and be like, no, it's time to switch hats. Now I need to go home and show up and be present at home with my significant other, with my partner, with my kids, with my family.
And I think of it like, again, I'm like such a visual person. I think of it like, you know, like let's say my day job is working at McDonald's, right? And my night job is working at Popeyes. I got to throw that chicken in there. Popeyes.
It's just like, oh my God, this is only so she can get her favorite French fries and then go to Popeyes and get her fried shrimp.
Right.
I know why you picked them.
I think 10 pounds, I think. But, you know, but you're not going to wear your outfit that you wore at McDonald's to Popeyes. You're going to change your outfit, hopefully freshen up a little bit, you know, and it's going to be a different flow. You're going to be frying chicken as opposed to the burgers.
Right. Makes sense.
Just putting that, just, you know, for visual sake.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay. So emotional reactivity. We've talked about emotional reactivity, taking time to transition, recognizing how many hats we do wear, just how much responsibility we have, and taking the transitional time to switch our hats so we can show up in that way. Right? We talked about partnering up, asking our partners for help, having that tag team, you know, can you stand in for me here? I'm struggling, right?
Yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow tags Hulk Hogan, you know, in the wrestling, just saying.
Right. Absolutely, yeah. And now saying no, right? Saying no and putting up some boundaries. So these are all survival tactics that Rashidah and I work hard to implement every day.
I have another one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's a really big one. Don't worry about what doesn't matter. Don't worry about what doesn't matter. You know, I think sometimes I know I do, make a big deal out of something and worry about something that's just really not that important. You know, for example, if I send my kids to school and I send them with mixed match socks, I don't know how many people have ever done that. I know I'm not the only one.
Every day, I gave up.
Right.
And where do the partners of these socks go? That is like, seriously, if anybody knows the answer to that, seriously. Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah,
I know it's bringing up something for you, Hilary. I feel like it's bringing up something.
It is. It really affects me because I feel like, you know, it's almost like the penguin thing. They have one partner and then they're so dedicated to each other. And then it's like, okay, so I have little laundry baskets around my house of like, you know, partnerless single socks. So then like, how long do you keep this bin? And how long? Yeah, it's a lot. We can talk about it at a later. So go ahead.
Right. But again, we work ourselves up, you know, we focus just think of the energy to find that matching sock or to find, you know, whereas ain't nobody going to look at their feet, you know, like, you know, nobody's looking at their feet. So it's just like,
and if they are, it's a them problem, not a.
Then I dare you to send me home a letter that my kids' socks were mismatched.
Please let me know. That would be really good.
But yeah, just priority, you know.
Prioritize, absolutely. So it's kind of like a don't sweat the small stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that and laughing, right?
Yes.
Another survival tactic is sleep hygiene. You know, and I think we need to do a show on this, but sleep hygiene and making sure that we are taking time to get the rest that we need so it is even humanly possible to show up in our best form on the daily. So what are we doing? What does that mean? It means unplugging, right? It means having some kind of nighttime ritual, whether maybe you take a bath or you just wash your face and you put lotions on and you just kind of wind down, you know, and give yourself that chance. This is something that I definitely struggle with. even, as a therapist who is really mindful to provide the psychoeducation and talk about this with my clients. Hey, you and I are here to say we're human and we do some of the same things. So this is, I know the scrolling is just, not a good thing. So sleep hygiene is something that we can pay more attention to, and it would help us get through our day and gear us up for the next day.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, how many people like who you didn't get enough sleep the night before, and you just like wake up irritable, and again you're gonna be reactive because you're just like
absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. Another one, unless you have any more to say about the sleep.
No, just get enough sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Prioritize sleep. The other thing is, and this kind of wraps into the transitional break, and when we switch hats, but even when we're wearing the same hat, some of us wear the hat for 10 to 12 hours, we wear one hat.
Yeah.
And so it's so important in those 10 hours, even 10 times if you could, but we'd be happy for one, taking a pause to get quiet and breathe. I myself have been really surprised when I'm like, oh man, when was the last time I actually took a deep breath? Right. Yeah. So encouraging yourself to take that time, take a pause, breathe.
Yeah.
You can set alarms on your phone to do that. You can have a little post-it, on your desk, on your laptop. So posting. Hey, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like a good point. I'm again, I work in the hospital and I work 16 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And so you have to wear the mask the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And and I feel like I'm not really truly breathing with the mask.
I know. Yeah.
And so when I go to the bathroom, that is my time to breathe. Mm-hmm. I feel like because I'm by myself, to pull the mask off. And it feels so good. It feels so good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, thank you for what you do every week there. And, on the front lines, responding to psychiatric crises. And I can also relate for me personally, and I don't know how many of you agree as well, the mask thing. Like, of course, I wear a mask. It is really hard for me. I'm open about anxiety. That really revs up my anxiety. And I have to seriously remind myself to breathe, because as soon as my mask goes on, I'm taking shallow breaths and I'm up here in like Shallowville when we need to push our breath. I know you love this, Rashidah.
I do. I'm on the edge of my seat.
And we need to make sure that our breath is down in our belly. That is another survival tactic for my everyday, is to just really be cognizant. Where is my breath? If it's up here, I'm anxious. I could tell you I'm not relaxed. I'm anxious. So in the pause that I take to breathe, it's to get my breath down into my belly, and that just gets me grounded. Yeah.
And that's important because I don't think people really focus on their breathing and know, again, that Shallowville. I love that. Like that's like should be like a little island or a little
Shallowville
state or something. But don't be in Shallowville, people. But that's really important, is to just that those really deep breaths, and it's important.
Yep. With you, absolutely. So I mean, I'm trying to think. Did you
I think you kind of went into disconnecting. I know we were talking about the sleep hygiene, and sometimes the cell phones kind of get
which part of that on next week. That's our topic, right? Remember, managing consumption.
So I'm not going to add any more.
So we don't want to give too much of that away.
Yes.
But I mean, so for me, I feel like I kind of covered what my survival tactics are. Like those are pretty much them. Do you have any more to add? Did we leave anything off your notes?
I think like just one last thing is like shower. I think like sometimes, I don't know how many people like, if you're working, outside of the house, sometimes just coming home and taking that shower, it's almost like it just feels like it just kind of washes off the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shout out to my stay-at-home moms and dads, because your job is it's real, it's rough.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and if you have a partner that, and if your partner's, working, just to be able to say, hey, I just need to get in the shower. I just need to just wash the day off. And it makes the senses up. It gets you, feeling clean.
Absolutely. Yes. And it's kind of a reset, and that's a good transitional thing too, to change hats. Okay. Now I come out and I'm mom, but I get to wear pajamas and I can go cook and do all, whatever I got to do. So just a quick review for our survival tactics for every day. We have, emotional reactivity, balance, rational and emotional mind. Think of it a personal scale, and all it really is taking a deep breath, not answering right away, because when we do, we're being emotionally reactive instead of responsive. Taking time, that transitional break, whatever that looks like for you, sitting in the car an extra few minutes, coming home, jumping in the shower, anything you need to switch hats, right? Sleep hygiene, getting into some kind of a routine where we can unplug and kind of ease ourselves into slumber, if you will. Partnering up, asking our partner for what we need. They're not mind readers, right? That tag team. Think of the WWF, right, Rashidah? Taking a pause, focusing on our breathing, recognizing where our breath is, getting our breath down to our belly, saying no, boundaries, laughing, recognizing when our cup is empty and we just are pouring from that empty cup, and when we have to refill it with slices of joy. And not worrying about the smaller things, prioritizing our worry, right?
Yeah. And I just thought of one last one. Just be easy on yourself. Just be easy. We got to come up with a rap song, because I feel like, or that should be a rap, one of our names. Be easy.
Okay. Well, maybe in our weekly meeting we will down. Wicked.
Be easy.
So self-compassion. That's what I hear you saying, is find some space for self-compassion.
Yeah, self-compassion. Like, like if you're tired and you don't feel like cooking tonight, you don't have to cook. Wawa's open 24/7. Like
give yourself a break.
Yeah, it's okay to, have pizza 3 nights in a row. Should I do it?
Okay.
They're growing. They're still growing.
Right. All right. So yeah, those are our survival tactics for every day. So I guess it's this time.
Whoa. And also shout out to Stephanie. Today is National Penguin Day. Oh my God. National Cheese Day.
Yum. I'm like, oh, yum. All right. So we have our bowl of no shame here. What's it gonna be? Okay. Redang.
Yes.
What is the best inside joke you've ever been a part of?
Oh, what does that mean? Inside joke?
Like something that you and maybe 1 or 2 other people know about, but other people don't.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I don't know if anybody else is involved, but I pretended like I fell down some stairs.
Oh my God.
And I made sure my kids weren't around, because they would have just got really emotional. Sure. But I pretended like I fell, like, oh, and and my husband came, he was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And the oldest was in on it, actually, and it was just to get him. And then I was just like, like really playing it real, like a real good episode of General Hospital, like,
Oh my God.
Scene where they're usually in the hospital, they're on their deathbed, that scene. And I was just like weak and like
horrible. I mean, funny, but like, wow, okay.
Payback, because I don't know what they did to me, but they did something
Okay, clearly they were in for it. Okay.
That was a good one. I love that. That's a good question.
So, okay, what's the best inside joke? Okay, so back in high school, I think I was a little bit of a mean girl, and me and my best friend Joanna were in high school together, and sorry, Joe, I'm totally blowing up our spot here. So I used to take like a pen like this, and I used to take a Sharpie, and I would Sharpie this part, and then I would go up and be like, oh my God, you got the cutest little nose I've ever seen. And give them like and then they'd walk around with a little thing. And then it got progressively worse. And I would borrow somebody's glasses and like do it under here and under that part. Yeah, it wasn't cute. But I have faith that I'm a really genuine adult.
Wow.
Oh my God. Joanna, she's like, what? So yeah, that was my thing. Okay,
so I know now to not, I don't know, give you my glasses. I know now that's not to give you a pen and then you think,
I am a reformed. I'm good. Ooh, okay.
I promise that I won't pretend to fall down the stairs.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that because I get nervous, will laugh, and then pee in my pants, and then what good are we? So, okay. Here's this. I guess I'll answer this first. If I were a man for a day, what would I do? I mean, okay, so if it was snowing, I would definitely write my name in urine in the snow just to see it, to be able to wield that thing. And I guess I'd want to experience everything that a penis does. And you could use your imagination. Okay, so Rashidah, I just said penis on our podcast. Okay.
Well, I think we said raunchier things.
Okay, well, thank you. I didn't. If Rashidah, if you were a man for a day, what would you do?
Scratch my balls. I just think it just looks so cool, like when they do it.
Yeah, so we would be peeing on everything, utilizing our penises and scratching our balls. Yes, I love it. I love us.
And most importantly, I would go and not all men do this, but I would like go to the bathroom and then just walk out, not wash my hands.
Move the seat up. Oh yes. Okay, good. Yes. I love it. Okay, these were good. So next week on episode 18, we will be talking about managing consumption, aka social media, the news, and all of that stuff, and bringing some really good facts and statistics and practical solutions to managing our consumption. Until then, please download us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Rashidah and I are getting better at dropping the links. Ask your friends to like us on Facebook and Instagram. We are just, normalizing mental health, one podcast one show at a time. And the more people we reach, the better. So please share.
If you haven't, if you're just tuning in, this is your first time watching the show and you like what you see, we've again have a multitude of episodes that we talk about many different issues, and Hilary and I think we're hysterical, and you'll get at least one laugh out of each show that you watch, guaranteed.
We think we're funny. Absolutely. Listen, we are definitely
like Christian got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even know how many laughs he put.
That's because you said you'd want to scratch your balls. So also, if you have any ideas for shows, Rashidah and I are so willing to. We want what you guys want. We want to deliver what you guys want to learn about, hear about. You can email us at notokay@gmail.com, and we are always checking. So until then, be good to yourself. Recognize that we are all in this stress, and it's okay not to be okay. We're in it together, and That's all I got, Rashidah. How about you?
Just tune in next week to, hear some more laughs and hear some more real talk.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody. Have a great week. The Not Okay, It's Okay podcast includes casual conversations related to mental health, self-care, practical tips and resources, along with validation that not being okay is okay. You acknowledge and agree that the following warnings and disclaimers shall apply to all of our content.
This podcast represents the opinions of Hilary Scheer, LPC, and Rashidah Cartwright, LCADC, and their guests to the show. The information provided is for informational purposes only, and we recommend that you consult with a healthcare professional for medical or mental health advice.
The views and opinions expressed in the Not Okay, It's Okay podcast are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. Do not use our content in lieu of professional advice given by qualified medical or mental health professionals. Always seek the advice of your own medical mental health provider related to your specific medical or mental health condition prior to implementing any recommendations or suggestions from using our content.
Privacy is of great importance to us. That being said, all people, places, and scenarios mentioned in the podcast have been changed to protect patient confidentiality.